What is the value of the expression shown above? And we have a ton of calculations to do. So let's keep the order of operations in mind, PEMDAS. This will be our guide as we decide what calculations to do first and what stuff to put off till later. So I'm going to start by scanning for parentheses, and I see some right here. That -2 is being raised to the third power. I know that that exponent, that 3, comes before multiplication and addition in the order of operations. So I'm going to go ahead and do -2 to the third power right away. That's -2 times -2 times -2. These first two would make a +4, and +4 times -2 is -8. So I'm going to replace this expression up here with -8. Now, as I continue to scan for parentheses, it might not look like there are any left, but these absolute value signs over here are a special kind of parentheses. Basically, if the input, if whatever we put inside of them, ends up being negative, then we can take away the absolute value signs and make it positive. So the absolute value of -3, I know that better as just regular old +3. Now we got rid of the parentheses, we got rid of the absolute value signs. We just have to decide what order are we going to do these calculations in, the minus and the divide by and stuff like that. So I know that this division is going to have to come before the subtraction and before the addition. So I'm going to go ahead and do 9 divided by 3, and that's 3. And likewise, this multiplication on the far right would have to come before the addition to its left. So I'm going to go ahead and do -8 times 1.5. What is that? A couple of different ways we could approach this. One would be the math class approach, and that's turn -8 into an improper fraction. That's -8/1. And we'll do the same thing to 1 1/2. As an improper fraction, let's see, 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. So that's 3/2. So multiplying the tops gives us -24. Multiplying the bottoms gives us 2. -24 divided by +2 is -12. So that's -12. The way I like to look at it, which I think is a little faster, is that we are taking -8, that's what the 1 is for, and we're adding 1/2 of it to itself. 1/2 of -8 would be -4, and -8 plus -4 is -12. So, okay, we only have 2 calculations left. We're pretty close. I'm going to write them down here as 6 minus 3 plus -12. Now, the thing about PEMDAS that's potentially confusing is that A comes before S and M comes before D, but that does not mean that subtraction has to come after addition or division after multiplication. Really, with these groups, we just read from left to right, and whichever one comes first, that's the calculation we do first. So this subtraction here, I'm not going to wait on it. I'm going to do it right away. 6 minus 3 is +3, and 3 plus -12, that's 3 minus 12, which is -9. So that's our final answer. We want to align our answer to the far left. We are utilizing this negative column. So it looks like that when we write it down, and then we bubble it in. So I bubble in the negative sign and the 9. And there we go.